go sleepy? Okay. You gonna go sleepy time? Say hi, Stephanie. Say hi, baby E. If you make crying sounds, she's gonna be sad. She doesn't want to hear you sad. I know your teethy's hurt. I know. But baby E doesn't want you to be sad. Oh, honey. It's gonna kick in soon. Yeah. Lay your head down. Yeah. Really? That's weird, Stephanie. We all know. Oh, honey. Sweetheart. Hey, it's okay. I know. Do you want... Here, what about this? You want Chewy? Want Chewy help? Yeah? You want to hold it? You can use your hand and you can hold it until it kicks in. Here. I know, sweetheart. Chew on the Chewy until the medicine kicks in. Yeah. Yeah. I know, she's so upset that they made you unfollow her. I know, honey. Here, chew on this. It's gonna feel better, I promise. It will. It will feel better. Yeah, it'll feel better. I know, I know, my angel, but I promise you it'll feel better. It will. Yeah, we have teethy hurties, but we had our medicine. Oh no, that's not good, Lauren. Yeah. Does that feel better with the Chewy? Yeah. Is it Chewy better? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. You're okay. You're okay. It's gonna be okay. I promise it's gonna kick in soon. And then you're gonna feel all better. Yeah. Here, it's right here. I promise. It is the habit of mass and falling over. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty annoying. It says, help him find the baby. Yeah, or the kitty, or the puppy. Help the baby. Just an anxious day. She has a lot to say about an anxious day. Yeah, promise. I'm sure your medicine will kick in soon, my angel. I know it will. I know. Yeah. I know. This is a very hard time, but I promise it's going to kick in soon. I promise. Okay, this one. Is that nice? Somebody sent us these cool, like, pacifiers that have ridges on them. She's not great with pacifiers, but if I hold it, she likes it. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, okay. Entering perimenopause. Oh. Amanda, isn't that kind of early for perimenopause for you? Like age-wise? Am I crazy? Bones or no bones. That's really funny. No coffee today. You okay, honey? Yeah? You okay, my angel? You're so tired. You're rubbing your eyes. I saw you. I saw you do it. Yeah. And to carry on pretty much. Oh, wow. That is kind of early, though. There's the signs my mom went through. Okay, yeah, genetically, if you your predisposition to go through it early, then maybe you will, yeah. That does happen. The women in my family tend to go through it later. For example, my mom didn't go through menopause until she was, I think, like late 50s. So perimenopause would have been early 50s. But I mean, like, we all know that she wasn't in perimenopause because she had my brother naturally at 46. So it's a little later in our family, which is neither good nor bad. There's no right, right or wrong. It just is. There just is. As Secret Husband would say, too old. Yeah, I think that's the truth for most people, Lauren, don't you think? That most people, Lauren, don't you think? That most people couldn't survive. I would say that's most people. Yeah. Mostly moodiness, no other symptoms, could just be current events. I mean, true. Current events are not. We are drooling on my arm, so my moodiness could be due to drool, for all we know. I think that's true for a lot of people, Lauren, right? A lot of people have to go through a lot before they find the right one. Stop slamming your mama. Yeah, stop slamming your mama. Stop slamming mama. Stop slamming mama. Ha, ha, ha. We stop slamming mama. We stop slamming mama. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. Does that feel good? Does that feel better on your gums? I bet it does. A lot depending on how harvest. Oh, that doesn't sound good on you. Jeez. Hey, Liz. I'd take or spit up all day. Wait, I don't know what that means. I'm enjoying sitting outside. Oh, someday I would love for us to have the type of like porch or yard where we could do a quiet book club outside while she plays in the morning. I think that would be just peachy. Lexapro, my dreams are wild. Oh, interesting. Drool over spit up. Yes, she doesn't spit up very much. It's true. She is more of a drooler than a spitter. That is true. That's a very good point. It's rainy here. Otherwise, perfect temp. What's your temp right now, Liz? Someone wants to know. You want some more of this? Yeah? Yeah? That's the water. We're cleaning this. We have to wash it so we can use it every day to make the milk. It's our beloved frother. We love our frother, huh? Yeah. And then Mommy has to dry her hands. Yeah. You want to lick your drool cloth instead of chewing on this? Oh, woo! Wearing a light sweater. It's like April 25th in July. I love that. Yeah. She's doing a song. Can I drink this without you knocking it over? What do we think? We have a double fenced-in yard. Yes, that is what we would like. I would like a fenced-in yard so that she could play outside and I could do book club. Oh, that's exciting. Have fun, Isabella. I got the first sip in. That's what matters, right? And then what happened? And then what happened? You're not going to tell me anymore now? You're just going to end it there? That's the end of the story? It's an abrupt end to a story. You're trying to drink my coffee? Honey, sweet love, baby nugget, you are too young for coffee. You can only get it secondhand right now. Secondhand coffee only. Are you? Secondhand, oh yeah, fall, and the end. She's so big. She is, she's so big now, it's crazy. Hey, Gigi. While the author is a bad person. Oh, it is. Aw, it's true. Wait, is it? Wait, is today the 31st? Is it really? Shows what I know. I can't even keep track of the days. Well then. Well then. Happy July 31st to all of you. Do you know what's happening today? Somebody and I and her dad are going to an elopement. Not ours, obviously, we're married. My friend, a longtime friend of mine, is eloping today, and I am going to go take some pictures for them because it was a last minute thing and they couldn't book a photographer or whatever. And although I'm not a professional, I do take good enough photos, so I'm gonna go do that for them today. Yeah, it's nice, right? Okay, so, hey Jen. It is cute. It is someone, oh, very nice, Avery, very nice. Anyone else having TikTok be super choppy and pausing? It's been for days and I updated the app too. That is awful. Have you tried watching it? Are you near a laptop? Because I know you're working. Are you near a computer? Try putting it on the computer and see if it's doing the same thing. If it is, it might be the internet. If it's not, then... Oh, honey, look at mommy. Hey, look at mommy. You don't have to look at the coffee. Look, yeah, look at mommy. Here, look, this is right here. Hello. Maybe your Wi-Fi. I'm the Starbucks drive-thru and it's good here. No, it just hates me. Don't follow my favorite. Truly cruel, Stephanie. Truly cruel. Hey, 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 hey. Look at mommy. Look at mommy. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, router restart. Yeah. Hey, Squeaky. Hey, here, look, it's right here. Yeah. I know you're hurting, but it's good. Yeah. The medicine's gonna kick in and you can take a nap. I know. Okay. Yeah. What else? I know how tired you are. I know, I can see it. I know you just want to sleep. I know. Who hurt you, bro? No, it's true. I feel like they torment all of us. Like, and why? Why? What did we do? Nothing. We're using your platform. Be kind. I agree. Yeah, who hurt you? Oh, the orange man. Okay. Well, honestly, that's true. Tell your mom she's welcome to. I know. Okay, tell me more about that. You sure you don't want to go sleepies? I bet it would feel really good if you got a nap. Pterodactyl time. She's practicing her trills. Okay, can you look at mommy? This is gonna make you feel better. Yeah, it will. Hey, 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 hey. What if we sing a song first? Do you want to fall asleep? A dream is a wish your heart makes. Oh, she's I forgot the lyrics. Your heartache, whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday. Right? Seriously, Amanda. I don't have those, but I need it. Okay, she's resting her head down. She's not asleep yet, but I can tell she's getting there. She's still, oh. Your rainbow will come smiling through, no matter how your heart is grieving. If you keep on believing. I know. Just rest your head right here. Here, if you rest your head over here, you're gonna feel better. It'll feel softer than the arm. Yeah. I know. Yeah. The dream that you wish will come true. Keep singing. She's Ursula. Let-dum, let-a-dum, let-dum-dum. Okay, she's resting her head. I'm getting my glasses. The drool is rolling down my arm. You'd think I'd be used to it, but no. Smudgy. Yeah. Oh, my smiling girl. Are the medicines kicking in now? I bet they are. You look like they are. You look like something has kicked in. Yeah. Blue and pink thing. Yes, it is. That's correct. Yes. A jelly of the coffee. So I feel it. Yeah. This is, she has a lot of these that just snap around because I'm trying to keep this part of her dry all the time. Because we have a lot of drool, and I have read a lot of horror stories about moms who don't keep the neck here dry and their kids get yeast infections here. And I've seen some really awful pictures in my due date group of the moms who just don't like bibs, so they just don't use them, and their kids' necks look rough. And this is not an aesthetic choice. It's for her health. I'm not saying that to Anya. I'm telling that to the other moms who say that they just don't like bibs. I'm like, it's not about you. Yeah, the handkerchief bib. Yeah, you have to. We change ours like 3 times a day, honestly. Or sometimes more. Sometimes I have to change her clothes just from drool. What is wrong with them? So much. Oh, Roxy, if you could see this due date group, there's so much wrong. Least of which is not being willing to put on a bib. Yeah. Some think it's a choking hazard. I wouldn't put her in the crib with it on, but when I'm holding her, for sure she's gonna have it on. Yeah. And when she's like playing on her mat and stuff, yeah. Yeah, I think at the bare minimum you have to keep a drool cloth around, right? And definitely I would never put it on her if she's alone. And it is a snap release. Yes, absolutely. It's one of those, like, I could even probably do it with one hand. Yeah. So, but like, I also just keep a spare drool cloth like everywhere, like by here at the table, like they're just all over the place. Can I make you a bib? Sure. Yeah, I mean, we go through, like I said, like 3 a day. So it's not like we don't use them. We sure do. All right, I'm gonna have one more sip. I think we are ASLEEP, which is great. Let me see if I can reposition your beautiful head. Yeah. Can you just, there you go. Yeah. There you go. That's perfect. Now mommy can see your beautiful face. That's what we want. I have ones for massive drooling. Oh yeah, we are a massive drooler. The fact that they're more worried about looks is, I know. I was helping a mom, thank you, Liz. I was helping a mom with some, like one of the moms in like one of the groups that I'm in was like, oh, I'd like to learn better baby wearing or whatever. So she like came and I was like helping her, and she was one of the ones who I was like, she was like, oh, that bib that you have on her is so cute. I was like, yeah, we change them out all the time. You know, I kind of said like that.
They made me have a write it out to see what you spell. That's hilarious. And I said to the mom, oh yeah, I'm like so scared of her getting a yeast infection on her neck. And she was like, oh yeah, we had to have medicine for that. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, we had to get antibiotics and like amoxicillin and all these things. And I was like, why? She was like, because I just don't use bibs. And I was like, you would prefer having to go to the doctor and get medicine over just using a bib? Like, what? I can't, like, my brain doesn't go, like, I'm not trying to like shame anybody, but like mentally I don't understand the like disconnect there. Like, isn't a bib just easier? Like, am I crazy? I don't know. Like, am I the weird one? Like, we own like 17 bibs because, like I said, we change them so often. And like, it's not my favorite part of my day by any means, but like, I prefer it over having to give her something like in her system she doesn't need. She doesn't need to have medicine. I keep teaching Ms. Mama, I watch her like, but you know what? You might as well, Anya. I mean, maybe one day, who knows, right? Yeah, it's super weird. I agree, it's super weird. Anyway, let's read. So for those keeping track, we are on page 200 today, and as you know, there are not chapters in this book, so I can't really give you a chapter, but we're on Thursday, May 8th, and excuse me, we're at 77%. That's the info I was trying to get. Rather not add antibiotics in my system when I can prevent it. Yeah, it's such an easy thing to prevent. Yeah, we are reading Princess Diaries 5, and it is Princess in Pink. I had mostly a tie on in the 80s, but yeah, I mean, same difference, right, Gigi? We have some of those. I mean, we have all different kinds. This is just the one that is like the easiest, but if they hadn't made the snaps, we'd be doing the tie on too. Maybe I'm still lost in all of his last year. But you know what, Anya, you're younger than I am. You're younger than I am. What I was going to tell you guys before I start reading is, so I don't know if you guys remember, and I know we've talked about all the other books we're going to read, but we're almost done with this book. We're at 77%, and at the library, my turn just came up for Josh Gad's memoir, and I will read it on my own if you guys don't want to read it, but I feel like reading Josh Gad's memoir out loud would be really funny. So like, since it just came up at the library, maybe we just like sneak it in and read it really fast while it's my turn to have it, and then go on to the rest of our list, because the rest of the list is great, but like, Josh Gad is so funny, and we've all seen something with Josh Gad in it, right? Whether like, I mean, I saw him on Broadway when he was still an understudy in Spelling Bee, like a long, long time ago, and I want to know if he mentions that part of his life and stuff like that. And then like, obviously he becomes Olaf and every other thing. So, okay, great. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. I feel like it'll be a really fun memoir for us to read just real quick, and then we'll go back and finish the other stuff. No, I did not see that, Liz. Wait, why? I did not see that. That's heartbreaking, because he would be perfect for that role. Oh, well, that's a good reason not to do it. That's such a bummer. Who do they have replacing him? Do you know? Hi, Naisa. Did I say that twice? Or did I say it once in my brain and once out loud? Oh, look, I saw this morning and just once. What is these roles for? He was going to be in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. Rub shoulders creepily. I don't think any of us in here would ever take each other as creepy, but I can see the face you're making in my head. All right, let's read, and then maybe we'll finish this book today, and maybe we'll start Josh Gad tomorrow, or if we're almost done with this, we can do both tomorrow. I don't know. All right, here we go. Thursday, May 8th, bio. Mia, are you all right? S. Yes, it was just an apple core. Still, that was way cool how Lars hit that guy. Your bodyguard has some really sharp reflexes there. Yeah, well, that's why he got the job. So how come you're speaking to me? Don't you hate me too? I mean, after all, you and Jeff were going to the prom too. Well, it's not your fault it got canceled. Besides, I wouldn't have had that much fun at it anyway. I mean, not if I'm the only other girl from my class, or except Lana. By the way, did you hear about Tina? No. What? Yesterday, when Boris was waiting at his locker for Lily, he put that happy ad in the paper asking her to meet him there after school so that they could talk. Well, Tina decided to meet him. And you know what? She asked him if he wanted to grab a frozen hot chocolate at Serendipity because she felt so sorry for him and all. And well, I guess he finally gave up on waiting for Lily. And since he said yes, the two of them went. And this morning, I swear, I saw them holding hands beside the foam board sculpture of the Parthenon outside the language lab. Wait a minute. What? You saw Tina and Boris holding hands? Tina and Boris Pulowski? Tina Hakim Baba and Boris Pulowski. Tina and Boris. Yes. Oh my God, what is happening to the world that we live in? Thursday, May 8th, third floor stairwell. Shamika and I cornered Tina after we came out of bio and dragged her up here to demand confirmation of the hand-holding with Boris thing. I'm skipping health and safety, but who cares about that? I would only end up sitting there under the hostile gazes of my fellow health and safety practitioners, one of whom is my ex-best friend Lily Moskovitz, whom I have absolutely no desire to speak to anyway. Besides, my Asperger's syndrome report is due, and I didn't exactly have time to finish it due to severe emotional problems that I'm suffering right now on account of my mother's bladder problems and my boyfriend's refusal to take me to the prom and the whole strike thing and all that. I cannot believe that stuff is just spilling out of Tina's mouth right now about like how all her life she's just been looking for a man who could love her the way that they do in the romance novels that she likes to read so much, and how she never thought that she would meet a man who could love a woman with the intensity of the heroes that she admires the most, like Mr. Rochester and Heathcliff and Colonel Brandon and Mr. Darcy and Spider-Man and all. And then she said after watching the way that Boris fell apart after Lily left him for Jane Bupanasa, it made her realize that out of all the boys that she'd ever met, he was the only one that seemed close to fitting the description of the perfect boyfriend. Except, of course, for the whole looks thing. But other than that, he has everything that Tina has ever wanted in a boyfriend. Loyal. Well, this goes without saying. Boris would never even look at another girl after he hooked up with Lily. Passionate. I guess the whole globe thing does prove that Boris is deeply passionate, or maybe he has Asperger's syndrome. Intelligence, 4.0 GPA. Musical, I can only too readily testify to this. In touch with popular culture. I guess he does watch Smallville. Fond of Chinese food. Okay, that is true. Absolutely uninterested in competitive sports. Well, except for figure skating, but then again, he is Russian. Plus, Tina adds that he's a really good kisser once he takes out his bionator. A really good kisser once he takes out his bionator? You know what that means, don't you? That means that Tina and Boris have already kissed. How would she know that if they hadn't? Oh my God, I can't stop gagging. I like Boris, I really do, except for the fact that he's completely insane. I think he is a really nice guy. He's sensitive and he's funny, if you can forget the asthma inhaler and the mouth breathing and the violin playing and the whole sweater thing. And yeah, I guess he's totally passably attractive. I guess at least he's taller than Tina, but oh my God, Boris Pulowski is Tina's Mr. Rochester? No. 1,000 times no. But as Shamika pointed out to me while Tina was checking her text messages, Boris doesn't necessarily have to be her Mr. Rochester for all of eternity. He could just be her Mr. Rochester for, now, until her real Mr. Rochester comes along. Oh my God, I don't know. It's Boris Pulowski. Well, at least Tina's right about one thing. He does feel things passionately. I have my blood-soaked sweater to prove that. Okay, well, not really, because Mrs. Pulowski returned it and the dry cleaners really did get all the stains out. But still, this is Tina and Boris Pulowski. Ah! Thursday, May 8th, 3 p.m., The Loft. After Lars had to shield me from yet another projectile, this one was thrown with stunning accuracy by the senior science fair winner, he called my dad and said that he thought for safety reasons I should be removed from school premises. So my dad said okay, and I got the rest of the day off. Except not really, because now Mr. G is going over everything that I haven't been paying attention to in his class for the past week and a half, and he's using the front of the refrigerator as a chalkboard and the magnetic alphabet as the coefficients and the problems I'm supposed to be solving. Whatever, Mr. G, can't you see that I have way bigger problems right now than sinking my grade in your class? Hello, I can't even set foot in my own school without being pelted by fruit. I'm so depressed. After everything with the strike and then with Tina and now this thing with everybody hating me, I don't really see how I'm going to make it through the rest of the week. I already called my dad and I was like, tell Grandmere, thanks a lot. Now I'm not even safe in my own institution of secondary education and it's all her fault. I don't know if he told her that though. I'm not sure that he and Grandma are even speaking anymore. I know I'm not speaking to Grandmere. It seems like I'm not speaking to a lot of people actually. Grandmere, Lily, Lana Weinberger. Well, I've never really been on speaking terms with Lana, but you know what I mean, right? Wow. what if I can never go back to school again? Like, what if I have to be homeschooled? That would suck so bad. I mean, how would I keep up with all the gossip? Like, what's going on with whom? And when would I ever see Michael? It would just be on weekends. That's it. And that would be so totally wrong. Hey, Katie. Hey, Sophie. The high point of my day is seeing him waiting outside his building to be picked up by my limo on the way to school. I know that I'm going to be deprived of this forever and he's going to start going to Columbia, but then I thought I'd still at least enjoy the rest of the school year anyway. Oh my God, this is bumming me out so badly. I mean, I never really liked Albert Einstein High, but considering the alternatives, like homeschooling or even worse, school in Genovia, oh my God, in comparison to AEHS, this is like Shangri-La. Hey, Des. Speaking of Genovia, which Des basically lives in, I mean, more or less, right? Kind of. Yeah. For those who don't know, my friend Des lives in Malta, which is pretty close to about as real world Genovia as you can get. Angry villagers, yes. Definitely angry villagers. She lives in a tiny principality that is basically, it's basically Genovia. Yeah, they don't have a Mia, but they have everything else. I know, we don't, cheese and wine, yeah. Do you have pears? Because pears are really important to Genovia. I'm sure that Malta has pears because I've been to Italy, and Italy and Malta are basically Maltovia. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Whatever Shangri-La is, how dare they try to keep it from me? AEHS, I mean, how dare they? Someone is at the door. Oh, please let it be Michael with the rest of my homework, not because I'm desperate to do my homework, but because I'm desperate to see Michael, and if I've ever needed to be comforted with the smell of his neck, it's now. Please, 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 please. Thursday, May 8th, later, in the loft. Well, it wasn't Michael, but it was close. It was a Moskovitz, just the wrong one. I really think that Lily has some nerve coming around here after what she put me through. I mean, Asperger's or not, she really made my life a perfect hell the last few days. And then she shows up at my door crying and begging to be forgiven. But what could I do? I couldn't exactly slam the door in her face. Okay, well, I could have, of course, but that would have been terribly unprincess-like. Instead, I invited her in, but coldly, very coldly. So who's the weak one now, I would like to know? Well, we went into my room, we shut the door, and I'm allowed to shut my bedroom door as long as anybody but Michael is in there with me. And Lily let loose, not as I was expecting, with heartfelt apology that I deserve for her dreadful treatment of me and dragging my good name in the royal lineage across the airwaves that she had managed to do. Oh, no, nothing like that. Instead, Lily's crying because she heard about Tina and Boris. That salad sounds phenomenal. 10 out of 10. Would make, would eat, would devour that. That's right, Lily's crying because she wants her boyfriend back. Seriously. And after the way that she treated him, I'm just sitting here in stunned silence, staring around as Lily rants. She's stomping around my room in her Mao jacket and her Birkenstock, shaking her glossy curls, her eyes behind the lenses of her glasses. I guess revolutionaries work to empower people, I guess the revolutionaries working to empower the people can't wear contacts, and her eyes are filled with bitter tears. How could he? She keeps wailing. I turned my back for 5 minutes. 5 minutes and he's running off with another girl? What can he be thinking? I can't help but point out that perhaps Boris was thinking that seeing her, his girlfriend Lily, with another boy's tongue down her throat in my hall closet no less wasn't great. Boris and I vowed never to see each other exclusively, she insists. I told him that I'm like a restless bird and I can't be tied down. Well, I shrugged. Maybe he's more into the roosting type. Oh, such an entire school of girls are obsessing over you, apparently. Oh, is that true? Who are these girls? And why? Why? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, no. Like Tina, you mean? Lily rubs her eyes. I can't believe she would do this to me either. I mean, doesn't she realize she can never make Boris happy? He's a genius after all, and it takes a genius to know how to handle a fellow genius. I did a slime session with my cousin and she freaked out when I told her I know you. That's very cute. That's very cute. Well, you should tell her that if they want, I will make a video for all of your cousin's friends, at school. If they want, we can make a video to Malta in honor of Des. Happy to do that for you. I remind Lily, somewhat stiffly, that I am no genius, but I'm handling her brother, whose IQ is 179, quite well. Can I tell my friends that you know her? Yeah, Des, send me a message separately so that I remember, because once I get off book club, I forget everything that I've ever said. But if you send me a DM or text me, and just remind me and just like tell me like her name or whatever, or what I can do like a thing. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Doesn't bother me. I don't mention the whole part about him still refusing to go to the prom and the fact that we haven't even gotten to second base yet. Oh, please, Lily scoffs. Michael's gaga for you, and besides, at least you're gifted and talented. You get to observe geniuses in action on a daily basis. What does Tina even know about them? Why don't I think I don't think she's ever even seen A Beautiful Mind, because Russell doesn't take his shirt off enough in it, no doubt. Hey, I say harshly. I noticed this about A Beautiful Mind too, and I think it's a valid criticism. Tina's my friend, and she's a better friend to me than you've been lately. Lily had the grace to look guilty. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Mia, she says. I swear I don't know what's come over me. I just saw Jangbu and I guess I became a slave to my own lust. I must say I'm very surprised to hear this, because while Jangbu is of course quite a hottie, I never knew that physical attraction was that important to Lily. I mean, after all, she's been going out with Boris for like ever. But apparently it was completely all physical between her and Jangbu. Gee, God, I wonder what base they got to. Would it be rude to ask? I mean, I know that considering we aren't best friends anymore, it probably isn't any of my business, but if she got to third base with that guy, I will kill her. But it's over between Jangbu and me, Lily just announced very dramatically, so dramatically, in fact, that Fat Louie, who doesn't like Lily very much in the first place and usually hides in the closet amongst my shoes when she comes over, just tried to burrow his way into my snow boots. I thought he had the heart of a proletariat. I thought, at last I have found a man who shared my passion for social causes and the advancement of the worker, but alas, I was wrong. I was so very wrong. I simply cannot be soulmates with a man who was willing to sell his life story to the press. It appears that Jangbu has been approached by a number of magazines, including People and Us Weekly, who are vying for the exclusive rights to the details of his run-in with the Dowager Princess of Genovia and her dog. Really? I was very surprised to hear this. How much are they offering him? Well, last time I talked to him, they were up to 6 figures. Lily dries her eyes on a piece of lace retrieved from the Crown Prince of Austria. He won't be needing his job back at Les Hujut Manger, that's for sure. He's planning on opening a restaurant of his own called Anosh in Nepal. He's planning on calling it that. Wow. I feel sorry for Lily. I really do. I mean, I know how much it sucks when someone that you thought was your spiritual life mate turns out to be a sellout, especially when he French kisses as well as Josh. I mean, Jangbu does. Still, because I feel sorry for Lily doesn't mean that I'm going to forgive her for what she did. I may not be self-actualized, but at least I have pride. Yeah, but I want you to know, Lily is saying, that I realized I wasn't in love with Jangbu before all this stuff with the strike happened. I knew that I had never stopped loving Boris when he picked up that globe and he dropped it on his head for me. I mean, Mia, he was willing to get stitches for me. That's how I know that he loves me. No boy has ever loved me enough to risk actual physical pain and discomfort for me, and certainly not Jangbu. I mean, he's way too caught up in his own fame and celebrity, not like Boris. I mean, Boris is 1,000 times more gifted and talented than Jangbu, and he isn't even caught up in the fame game. I really don't know quite how to respond to all of this. I mean, I guess Lily must realize by the way that she's narrowing her eyes at me and going, would you please stop writing in your journal for 1 minute and tell me how I can win Boris back? Although it pains me, I am forced to inform Lily that I think the chances of her ever winning Boris back are like 0, like less than 0, like even negative polynomials. Tina's really crazy about him, I tell her, and I think he feels the same way about her. I mean, he gave her his autographed 8x10 glossy of Joshua Bell. This information causes Lily to clutch her heart in existential pain. Okay, maybe not so existential since I'm not even really sure what existential means, but in any case, she clutches her heart and she falls back dramatically across my bed. That witch, she keeps yelling so loudly that I'm afraid any minute Mr. G is going to come busting in here thinking that we have charm turned on too loud. That black-hearted, backstabbing witch, I will get her for stealing my man. I'll get her. So I have to get very severe with Lily now, and I tell her that under no circumstances is she going to get anyone. I tell her that Tina really and sincerely adores Boris, which is all he has ever wanted, to love and be loved in return, just like Ewan McGregor in Moulin Rouge. And I tell her that if she really loves Boris the way that she says she does, she'll leave him and Tina alone and let them enjoy the last few weeks of school together. And then if, in the fall, Lily still finds herself wanting Boris back, then she can say something, but not before that. Lily is, I think, a little taken aback by my saga and very my sage and very direct advice. In fact, she still appears to be digesting it. She's sitting on the end of my bed, blinking at my Princess Leia screensaver. I'm sure it must be quite a blow for a girl with an ego the size of Lily's to know that a boy who once loved her could turn and love again. But she will just have to get used to it, because after what she put Boris through this week, I, for one, will see to it that she never ever dates him again. And if I have to stand in front of Boris with a big old sword like Aragon in front of that Frodo dude, I'll totally do it. That is how determined I am that Lily will never again mess with Boris Pulowski's head-bandaged, misshapen genius head. I don't know if she can see how fiercely I'm writing, or if there's something particularly determined in my expression or what, but Lily just sighs and goes, oh, all right. Now she's putting on her coat and she's leaving, because even though she and Jangbu have parted ways, she is still the chairperson of SATWDOJPA, and she has loads to do. None of which apparently includes apologizing to me, or so I thought. And at my door, Lily turns and says, listen, Mia, I'm sorry I called you weak the other day. You're not weak. In fact, you're one of the strongest people I know. Yes, it is Lily's fault that he's with Tina. Wow, hello, this is so true. I've battled so many demons in my day, I make those girls in Charmed look like they're the ones on the freaking Full House. Really, I should get a medal, or at least a key to the city or something like that. Sadly, however, whenever I thought my bravery was no longer going to be needed, Lily and I hugged, and she left, and a few words of apology to my mom and Mr. G over the whole making out in our closet with Jane Boo, the unemployed busboy thing, which they graciously accepted. Then the buzzer in the vestibule went off again, and I for sure thought it had to be Michael this time, because he promised to collect and bring over all of my remaining assignments. So you can imagine my horror, my absolute revulsion. When I bounded over to the intercom, I hit the talk button. I went, hello, and the voice that came cracking over it in response was not the familiar voice of my one true love. No, the hideous crackle of Grammere. Yeah, if only the, applying for medical insurance I got in Europe when I went to go with, oh, please, it would never happen here. Please, Anya, please. Who you think you're kidding? Who do you think you're kidding? The U.S. system give you health care quickly? Girl, you're living a pipe dream. A pipe dream. Honestly, if I had dual citizenship like Anya does, I might just peace out forever. Friday, May 9th, 1 a.m., the futon, couch in the loft. This is a nightmare. It has to be. Somebody's going to pinch me and I'm going to wake up and it's all going to be over and I'm going to go back snug in my own bed, not out here on the futon. How come I never noticed how hard this futon is in the living room in the middle of the night? Except this isn't a nightmare. I know it's not a nightmare because to have a nightmare you have to actually have fallen asleep. Something I can't do because Grammere is snoring so loudly. That's right. My grandmother snores. Scoop her the post? Huh. I should give them a call and hold up the phone to close to my bedroom door so you can hear her even with the door closed. I can see the headline now. The Royal Dowager Princess, a royal snore. I can't believe this is happening. Like my life isn't bad enough. Like I don't have enough problems. Now my psychotic grandmother has moved in with me. I could hardly believe it. And when I opened the loft door and saw her standing there, her driver was right behind her with about 50 million Louis Vuitton bags. I just stared at her for a full minute and finally went, Grammere said, well, Amelia, aren't you going to ask me in? And then right before I even had the chance to do so, she just barged right past me, complaining the whole way about how we don't even have an elevator. And did we have any idea what walking up 3 flights of stairs can do to a woman her age? I noticed that she didn't mention what it can do to the chauffeur who'd been forced to carry all of her luggage up the same aforementioned 3 flights of stairs. Then she started walking around the loft like she always does when she comes over, picking up things and looking at them with a disapproving expression on her face before putting them back down again, like Mom's Cinco de Mayo skeleton collection or Mr. G's NCAA Final Four drink holders. Meanwhile, my mom and Mr. J have heard all the commotion and they come out of their room and they froze, both of them in horror, as they saw the sight before them. I have to admit, it did look a bit scary, especially since by then Rommel had worked his way free from Grammere's purse and he was staggering around the floor on his spindly Bambi legs, sniffing ever so carefully as you would have thought he expected them to explode in his face at any moment, which, I mean, he does get around to sniffing Fat Louie. That might actually happen. Clarice, said my mother, a brave woman, would you mind telling us what you're doing here with what appears to be your entire wardrobe in tow? I cannot stay at the hotel a moment longer, Grammere said, putting down Mr. G's lava lamp and not even glancing at my mother, whose pregnancy, at her advanced age, as Grammere likes to say, even though my mom is actually younger than many recently pregnant starlets, she considers to be an embarrassment of grand proportions. No one works there anymore. The place is a completely chaotic mess. You can't get a soul to bring up a morsel of room service, and forget getting someone to run your bath, so I've come here. She blinks at us less than fondly. To the bosom of my own family in my time of need. I believe it's tradition for relatives to take one another in. My mom totally wasn't falling for Granmere's poor little me act. Clarice, she said, folding her arms over her chest, which is quite a feat considering how big her boobs have gotten. I can only imagine that if I ever get pregnant, my own knockers will swell to bootylicious proportions. There's a hotel workers' strike. No one is exactly lobbying the SCUD missiles at the plaza. I think you've lost your perspective a little bit. And then the phone rang, and I, of course, thinking it was Michael, dove for the phone. But alas, it was not Michael. No, it was my father. Mia, he said, sounding a trifle panicked, is your grandmother there? Why, yes, Dad, I said. She is. Would you care to speak to her? Oh, God, Dad groaned. No, let me talk with your mother. My dad was totally in for it. Did he ever know it? I handed the phone to my mom, who took it with a long-suffering expression that she always wears when Grandmere is in presence. And just as she was putting the phone to her ear, Grandmere said to her chauffeur, "That'll be all, Gaston. You can put the bags down in Amelia's room and then you may leave." "Stay where you are, Gaston," my mom said, just as I yelled, "My room? Why my room?" Grammer looked at me all acidly and went, "Because in times of hardship, young lady, it's tradition for the youngest member of the family to sacrifice their comfort for the eldest." I've never heard this cockamamie tradition before. Was it like the 10-course Genovian wedding supper or something? "Philippe," my mom said, growling into the phone, "what is going on here?" Meanwhile, Mr. G was trying to make the best of a bad situation. He asked Grammer if he could get her some form of a refreshment. "Oh, yes, a sidecar, please," Grammer said, not even looking at him, but at the magnetic alphabet algebra problem on the refrigerator door. "Go easy on the ice." "Philippe," my mother was saying in tones of mounting urgency into the phone, but it didn't do any good. There was nothing my father could do. He and the staff, Lars, Hans, Gaston, et al., were okay to rough it at the plaza under the new room service free conditions, but Granmere just couldn't take it. She apparently had tried to ring for her nightly chamomile tea and biscotti. When she found out that there was no one to bring it to her, she went completely mental and stuck her foot through the glass mail chute, endangering the poor postman's fingers when he comes to collect the mail from the bottom of the chute tomorrow. "But Philippe," my mom kept wailing, "why is she here?" But there was nowhere else for Granmere to go. Things were just as bad, if not worse, at all the other hotels in the city. Granmere finally decided to pack up, abandon ship, figuring that no doubt she has a granddaughter 50 blocks away. Why not take advantage of the free labor? So for the moment, anyway, we're stuck with her. I even had to give her my bed because she categorically refused to sleep on the futon couch. She and Ramel are in my room, my meditation chamber, my Zen palace, where she's already unplugged my computer because she didn't like my Princess Leia screensaver staring at her. And poor fat Louis is so confused he actually hissed at the toilet because he had to express his disapproval about the whole situation somehow. And now he has hidden himself away in the hall closet, the same closet where, if you think about it, all of this started, amid the vacuum cleaner parts and the $3 umbrellas that we've left there over the years. It was an extremely frightening sight when Granmere came out of my bathroom with her hair all in curlers and her night cream on. She looked like something out of the Jedi Council scene at the Attack of the Clones. I was about to ask her where she parked her land speeder, except Mom told me that I have to be nice to her. "At least until I can think of some way to get rid of her," Mom had said. Thank God Michael finally did show up with my homework. We could not exchange tender greetings, however, because Granmere was sitting at the kitchen table watching us like a hawk the whole time. I never even got to smell his neck. And now I'm lying here on this lumpy futon, listening to my grandmother's deep, rhythmic snoring from the other room, and all I can think is that the strike better be over soon. Because it's bad enough living with a neurotic cat, a drum-playing algebra teacher, and a woman in her last trimester of pregnancy. Throw in the Dowager Princess of Genovia, and I'm sorry, book me a room on the 21st floor of Bellevue, because it's the funny farm for me. Friday, May 9th, homeroom. I decided to go to school today because, number one, it's senior skip day, so most of the people who would like to see me dead aren't here to throw things at me, and number two, it's better than staying home. I mean, it's bad. It is bad at 1005 Thompson Street, apartment 4. This morning, when Granmere woke up, the first thing she did was demand that I bring her some hot water with lemon and honey in a glass, and I was like, no way. Yeah, this time I feel her. Having your grandma take your room when she's like super wealthy seems silly. And I was like, no way, which did not go over really well with her, let me tell you. I thought the grandmother was gonna hit me, but instead she threw my Fiesta Giles action figure, the one that Buffy the Vampire Slayer watches. Instead, she threw my Fiesta Giles action figure, the one of Buffy the Vampire Slayer's watcher Giles, in a sombrero against the wall. Saying that out loud is quite difficult. Reading it's not so hard. I tried to explain to her that he's a collector's item and he's worth nearly twice what I paid for him, but she's fully unappreciative of my lecture and she just went, "Get me the hot water with lemon and honey." So I got her the stinking hot water with lemon and honey, and she drank it down. And then, I kid you not, she spent about a half an hour in my bathroom. I had no idea what she was even doing in there, but it nearly drove Fat Louie and me insane. Me because I needed to get in there to get my toothbrush, and Fat Louie because that's where his litter box is, but whatever. I finally got in and I brushed my teeth, and then I was like, "See ya." And Mr. G and I fully raced for the door. Not fast enough, though, because my mom caught us before we could get safely out of the loft, and she hissed at us in a very scary voice. "I will get both of you for leaving me alone with her all day. I don't know how, and I don't know when, but when you least expect it, you better expect it." Whoa, Mom, have some more Pedialyte. Anyway, things here at school have calmed down a lot since yesterday, maybe because the seniors aren't here. Well, all except for Michael. He's here because he says he doesn't believe in skipping just because Josh Richter says that they should, and because Principal Gupta is giving 10 demerits to every student with an unexcused absence for the day. And if you get demerits, the school librarian won't give you a discount at the end of the year yearbook sale. And Michael has had his eye on the school's collection of Isaac Asimov's for some time now. Sorry, not yearbook sale, just book sale. But really, I think he's here for the same reason that I am, to escape his current home situation. That's because he told me in the limo on the way to school that his parents finally found out about Lily skipping school and holding press conferences without their permission, and the doctors Moskovitz supposedly went full on Reverend and Mrs. Camden, and they're making Lily stay home with them today so that they can have a nice long talk about her obvious disestablishmentarianism and the way that she treated Boris. And Michael was like, "I was so out of there," which, who can blame him? But things are definitely looking up, because when we stopped at Ho's this morning before school to buy a breakfast egg and cheese sandwich for Michael and ring dings for me, he fully grabbed me while Lars was in the refrigerator section buying his morning can of Red Bull, and he started kissing me, and I got to smell his neck, which instantly soothed my Granmere frazzled nerves and convinced me that somehow, some way, everything was going to be all right. Maybe. Friday, May 9th, algebra. Oh my God, I can barely write. My hands are shaking so badly. I can't believe what just happened. I can't believe it because it's so good. How is this possible? Good things never happen to me. Well, except for Michael. But anyway, this is just almost too big to believe. What happened was I came into the algebra classroom all unexpectedly, not expecting a thing at all. And I sat down in my seat and I started taking out last night's homework, which Mr. G fully helped me finish, when all of a sudden my cell phone rang. Thinking that it was my mom going into labor or she had passed out in the ice cream section of the Grand Union again, I hurried to answer it, but it wasn't my mother. No, it was Granmere. "Mia," she said, "there's nothing to worry about. I've taken care of the problem." I swear I didn't know what she was talking about, not at first anyway, so I was like, what problem? I thought that maybe she was talking about our neighbor Vorl and his noise complaints against us, and I thought that maybe she had executed him or something like that. Well, it is possible, knowing Granmere, which is why her next words were a total shock. "Your prom," she said. "I spoke to someone, and I found a place where you can have it, strike or not. It's all settled." I just sat there for a minute, holding the phone to my ear, barely able to register what I just heard. Wait, what? I said. "For God's sakes," Granmere said all testily, "must I repeat myself? I found a place for you to have your little prom." And then she told me, where? And I hung up in a daze, and I couldn't believe it. I swear, I couldn't believe it. Granmere had done it. Oh, not fessed up to her role in causing the most expensive strike in the history of New York City. No, nothing like that. This was more important. She saved the prom. Granmere had saved the Albert Einstein High School senior prom. So I looked at Lana sitting in front of me, all resolutely not glancing in my direction due to the fact that I was the one who had caused the prom to be canceled. And that's when it hit me. Granmere had saved the prom for AEHS, but I could still save the prom for me. I poked Lana in the shoulder and went, "Did you hear?" And Lana turned around and stared at me in a very mean way and said, "Hear what, freak?" she demanded. "My grandmother found an alternative space for us to hold the prom," I said, and I told her where. And Lana just stared at me in total shock. Really, she was so stunned that she couldn't talk. I'd stunned Lana Weinberger into silence. Not like the time that I stabbed her with the Nutty Royale either. It just, this time she had, that time she had a lot to say. This time she had nothing to say. "But there's just one condition," I went on. And then I told her the condition, which, of course, Granmere hadn't brought up. The condition was a little princess of Genovia maneuvering all my own. But I learned from the master. "So," I said, in conclusion, in an almost friendly way, as if Lana and I were buddies and not sworn mortal enemies like Alyssa Milano and the source of all evil, "take it or leave it." Lana didn't hesitate, not even for a second. She just went, "Okay." And just like that, okay. And suddenly, it was like I was Molly Ringwald. I'm not kidding either. I cannot explain even to myself why I did what I did next. Just like that. It was like for a moment I was possessed by the spirit of some other girl, like a girl who gets along with people like Lana, and I reached out and I grabbed Lana's head. I pulled it toward me, and I gave her a great big kiss, smack in the middle of her eyebrows. "Ew, gross," Lana said, backing away fast. "What is wrong with you, you freak?" But I didn't care that Lana had called me a freak twice now, because my heart was singing like those little birds who fly around Snow White's head when she's hanging out the window near the wishing well. I went, "Stay right here," and I jumped out of my seat, much to the surprise of Mr. G, who had just come into the room with his Starbucks Grande in his hand. "Mia," he said, bewildered as I darted past him. "Where are you going? The second bell just rang." "I'll be back in a minute, Mr. G." I called over my shoulder and I raced down the hall to where Michael had his AP English class. I didn't have to worry about making a fool of myself in front of Michael's peers or anything because none of Michael's peers were around, it being senior skip day and all. So I marched right into his classroom, and for the first time that I had ever done such a thing, usually, of course, Michael visited me at my classrooms, and I went, "Excuse me, Mrs. Weinstein," to his teacher. "May I have a word with Michael?" Mrs. Weinstein, who you could tell had been anticipating a light workday since she'd come armed with the latest Cosmo, looked up from the bedside astrologer and went, "Whatever, Mia." So I bounded over to an extremely surprised Michael, slipping into the desk in front of his and said, "Michael, remember how you said that you would only go to the prom if the guys in your band went too?" Michael couldn't seem to fathom the fact that I was actually in his classroom for a change. "What are you doing here?" he wanted to know. "Does Mr. G know you're here? You're going to get in trouble again." No, never mind that," I said. "Just tell me, did you mean what you said about going to the prom if the guys from the band went too?" "I mean, I guess so," Michael said. "But Mia, the prom got canceled, remember?" "What if I told you," I said all casually like I was talking about the weather, "that the prom was back on and that they need a band and that your band is the one that the prom committee has chosen?" Michael just stared at me. I would say get out of town." "I'm totally serious," I informed him, "and I will not get out of town, Michael. Oh, please say yes. Please say that you want to go to the prom with me. Please, I want to go so badly." Michael looked kind of surprised. "You do? But the prom is so lame." "No, look, I know it's lame," I said, not without some feeling. "I know it is, Michael, but that doesn't alter the fact that I've been dreaming of going to the prom like my entire life practically. I really believe that I could achieve self-actualization if you and I went to the prom together tomorrow night." Michael still looked like he couldn't quite believe any of it, that his band was actually being booked for a real gig, that gig was the school prom, and that his girlfriend had just confessed her way up the Jungian tree of self-actualization might be speeded along if he agreed to take her to said prom with him. Said Michael. "Well, okay, I guess so. I mean, if you feel really that strongly about it." I was so overcome with emotion that I reached out and I grabbed Michael's head, and just as I had grabbed Lana's and dragged Michael's head down toward me, and I planted a great big kiss on him, only his wasn't between the eyebrows like it was with Lana. I kissed him smack on the lips. Michael seemed very, very surprised by this, especially since, I had done it right in front of Mrs. Weinstein, which is probably why he turned all red all the way up to his hairline after I finished kissing him, and he went, "Mia," in a sort of strangled voice. But I didn't care if I embarrassed him because I was too happy. I went, "See you, Mrs. Weinstein," and then I looked Michael's stunned English teacher in the face, and I skipped out of there feeling like Molly when Andrew McCarthy came up to her at the prom and confessed his love to her, even though she was wearing that hideous dress. And now I'm sitting here, having told Lana that Skinnerbox would definitely be performing at the prom, trembling with excitement over my own good fortune. I'm going to the prom. I, Mia Thermopolis, am going to the prom with my boyfriend, my one true love, Michael Moskowitz. Michael and I are going to the prom. Michael and I are going to the prom. To the prom. Prom. Homework, algebra, who cares? Michael and I are going to the prom. English, prom. Biology, I'm going to the prom. Health and safety, prom. G&T, as if. French, vous allez à prom. World Civ, world prom. Prom. Friday, May 9th, 7 p.m., the loft. I really don't have time for all this bickering between my mom and Grammy. Don't these women know that I have more important things to worry about? I'm going to the prom tomorrow with my boyfriend. I'm supposed to be getting plenty of rest and anointing my body with precious unguents right now, not refereeing fights between postmenopausal and hormonally changed. Why can't you both just shut up? I wanted to scream at them. Listen, Mia, I think you need to be more excited. World prom was pretty funny. But of course, that wouldn't be very princess-like of me, so I'm going to put my headphones on and try to drown out the noise while I listen to a mix that Michael made for me for my birthday party. Perhaps the dulcet tones of Flaming Lips will calm my fractured nerves. Friday, May 9th, 7:02 p.m. Not even the Flaming Lips can drown out Grammy's strident tones. I'm switching to Kelly Osbourne. Friday, May 9th, 7:04 p.m. Success! Finally, I can hear myself think. Michael just emailed to let me know that he and the band would probably be up all night practicing for their first big gig, but it's fully all right for the guys to show up at prom tomorrow with dark circles under their eyes because look who ended up It's fully all right for guys to show up at the prom with dark circles under their eyes. Look at that guy who ended up in the time zone dance with Melissa Joan Hart and drive me crazy. It's just not okay for the girl to look less than Petal Smooth and Daisy Fresh. The guys in the band aren't exactly stoked about the whole playing the prom thing. In fact, rumor has that Trevor even said, "Aw, man, can't we just stick forks in our eyes instead?" That's very cute, Stephanie. I probably would have too if we did decide to go to Disneyland instead. But Michael said that he told him a gig is a gig and that beggars can't be choosers. So Michael signed off on his email with, "See you tomorrow night. Love, M." Tomorrow night, oh yes, tomorrow night, my love, when I enter the prom on your arm and see the jealous gazes of all my peers, well, just Lana, because she's only the only freshman besides me who's going, well, except for Shamika, only she would never look at me jealously because she's my friend. Oh, and Tina, because it turns out that Tina is going to the prom too, because of course Boris is in Michael's van, and since he's going to be there, he's allowed to bring one guest, and he chose Tina, because she, as he put it at lunch today, is my new muse and my sole reason for living. Oh, how thrilled Tina looked to hear those words uttered from the lips of her new love. I swear, I mean, she practically choked on her Snapple. She beamed across the table at Boris, and I thought I would never write these words, but I swear they are true. Boris almost looked handsome as he basked in the hearth glow of her affection. You definitely should go to Disneyland, Anya. Seriously, like even his underbite didn't look that pronounced, and his chest kind of puffed out. Either that or he's been working out or something. Oh, the phone. It's ringing. Oh, please let it be my dad to say the strike is over and he's sending a limo to pick up Grammy. Friday, May 9th, 7:10 p.m. No, it was not my dad. It was Michael. He called to ask if I agreed to the lineup of songs that Skinner Box plans on playing tomorrow. Only it includes many prom standbys such as the Moldy Peaches, Who's Got the Crack, and Switchblades Kittens, All Cheerleaders Die, in addition to edgier stuff like Mary Kay by Jill So Blue and Call the Doctor by Slater Kidney. I don't know any of these things. Are these all made up? This is not to mention Skinnerbox original songs Rock Throwing Youth and Princess of My Heart. I did feel compelled to suggest that Michael replaced Rock Throwing Youth with something a little less controversial like When It's Over by Sugar Ray or Shebangs by Ricky Martin. Okay, those I know. But he said he would sooner show up in the middle of Times Square with nothing on but a cowboy hat. Oh, I wish he would do that. Those are all real bands? Oh, okay. Well, apparently I'm just out of touch with reality. Thank you, Gigi. So I suggested some old school Spoon or the White Stripes instead. And then Michael went, what's all that shouting in the background? Okay, I just don't know anything, you guys. That's totally fine. Oh, I said airily, that's just Grammy or my mom arguing. Grammy keeps insisting that my mom let her smoke in the loft, but my mom said it's not good for me or the baby. And Grammy just accused my mother of being a fascist. She says that when... Grandma just accused my mother of being a fascist. She says that when she had Hitler and Mussolini over to the palace for tea at the height of World War II, they both let her smoke, and if it was good for those guys, it should be good enough for my mom. Mia, Michael said, you know your grandmother's age, don't you? Yeah, I said, remembering Grandma's birthday with all too much clarity. She had insisted on me going back to Genovia with her to celebrate it, only I had midterms, thank God, so I was unable to do that. Don't think I didn't hear about that ad nauseum for weeks. Well, Mia, Michael said, I know math's not your strong point, but you know that your grandmother was a small child during the height of World War II, right? I mean, she couldn't have had Hitler or Mussolini over for tea at the Genovian Palace because she wouldn't have even been living there yet unless she married your grandfather when she was like 5. I was stunned into total and complete silence by that one. I mean, can you believe it? My own grandmother's been lying to me my whole life. All Grandmere ever tells me is about how she saved the palace from being shelled by the Nazi hordes by having Hitler over for soup or something like that. And all this time I thought about how brave she was and what a diplomat and stopping imminent military incursion into Genovia with soup and her charming ways and, well, maybe back then her smile. And now I found out this isn't even true? Oh my God, she's good. She's really good. Although I never thought I would say this, it's sort of hard to be mad at her because she did save the prom. Friday, May 9th, 7:30 p.m. Tina just called. She's kvelling over getting to go to the prom, and she says it's like a dream come true. And I told her I couldn't agree more, and she asked me how I thought we'd be so lucky, and I told her it's because we're both kind and pure of heart. Friday, May 9th, 8 p.m. Oh my God, I never thought I would say this, but poor Lily. Poor Lily. She just found out that Boris is taking Tina to the prom, and she overheard Michael and I talking a little while ago, and Lily's on the phone with me now, barely able to speak. She's trying so hard to hold back her tears. Mia, she keeps choking. What have I done? Well, it's very clear what Lily's done. She ruined her own life, that's all. But of course I can't tell her that. So instead I go on and on about how a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, and how Lily will learn to love again, and blah, blah, blah. Basically all the same stuff that Lily and I said back to Tina when she got dumped by Dave Farouk Alabar. Except of course Boris didn't dump Lily, she dumped him. But I can't point that out to Lily because it would be like kicking her when she's already down. I mean, it's sort of hard dealing with Lily's personal crisis when A, I'm so happy, and B, my mom and grandma are still fighting in the background. I just had to excuse myself for a moment, and I put the phone down, and then I went out into the living room and shrieked, Grandmere, for the love of God, will you please call Les Ajouts Manger and ask them to hire Jangbu back so that you can return to your suite at the plaza and leave us in peace? But Mr. Gianni, who was sitting in the kitchen table pretending to read the paper, just went, I think it's going to take a little more than Mr. Panassa to getting his job back to end this strike, Mia. which I must say is extremely disappointing to hear because I can't find anything in my room due to the fact that Gramir's stuff is strewn everywhere. It's a little demoralizing to be looking around in my underwear drawer for a pair of Queen Amidala panties only to find... Hey, what's the matter? CP, CP, yeah, CP, CP, CP. Only to find a pair of black silk and lace thongs that Gramir wears. My Gramir has sexier underwear than I do. This is fully disturbing. I'll probably be in therapy for years because of this. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. No one seems to worry about the mental health of children, do they? I guess she's not. You're not a Star Wars girl? Okay. Okay. Hey, hey, hey. That was a nice nap, huh? So when I come back to my room now and I pick up the phone, Lily's still going on about Boris. Really, it's like she doesn't even know that I was gone. But I never truly appreciated what we had together until it was gone, she's saying. Uh-huh, I go on. Oh, baby. What's wrong? What's wrong? You don't even know Christmas music. You've never had Christmas yet. You've never had Christmas. Okay, we went a little bit over and she's hungry, so we'll finish this tomorrow. We're at 90% right now, so we'll definitely finish that tomorrow, and we'll start the Josh Gad thing tomorrow also, because I bet there's like no pages left. They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Okay, see, I know that song. Okay, I'm gonna go feed this little angel. I will see you guys later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm supposed to hear back about my test today, so today we find out if I got certified. I don't know. Love you guys. Bye.